Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us for Health Professional Radio. We'll be speaking with Sean Gilligan this evening, Chief Operating Officer at AVS. AVS is an early-stage medical device company focused on safely and effectively treating severely calcified arterial disease. He's joining us to talk about his years of experience in the medical device field and how it's evolved. He's also going to talk about hospitals evaluating their tech investments in a tight economy. Welcome to Health Professional Radio, Sean Gilligan.
Thanks, Neil, for having me on. Much appreciated.
Well, tell us a bit about yourself, if you would.
Sure. Well, I recently joined AVS in March of this year, and prior to that, I was with Boston Scientific for almost 28 years. And during that period of time, I was involved in many different product launches across mostly the interventional cardiology portfolio, leading innovation and lifecycle management across a number of products to treat vascular disease, from early stage development right through to commercialization, lifecycle management, and through end of life as technology evolved over the last 20 plus years.
Give us an overview of AVS, the things that they're involved in, and your role with the company presently.
Sure, yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, AVS, as you mentioned earlier, is a startup company that's currently in the development phase for a pulsatile intravascular lithotripsy device. The idea started in 2017 via collaboration between clinical and engineering at the University of Michigan. The early years were very much focused on developing concepts and prototypes, and then in 2022, the company was able to start its first in-human peripheral study. More recently, earlier this year, the company raised Series B funding, and that's really allowed the company to take its next stage in its evolution and growth. I joined in March this year as Chief Operating Officer, and my role is to drive operational strategy and leverage my prior experiences from Boston Scientific across all of the business areas to drive towards a successful treatment and launch of the product.
Now, in looking at some of your information, I came across intravascular lithotripsy.
Correct.
Well, I never heard of it. What is it, and how significant is the need for new treatment?
Yeah. So lithotripsy in itself has been around for a while. It's really a procedure involving the physical destruction of hard masses like calcium. There are numerous mechanisms of action out there, but the most notable history, or how most people might have heard of it, is in breaking up kidney stones. And the vascular disease over time in people older than 70, 90% or more of men and 67% of women have some level of coronary artery calcification. So there's a need for improved modalities to basically be able to treat those patients. In our case, what we're doing is we're creating rapidly pulsating pressure waves on the fluid pathway in a balloon catheter to create micro cracks in the hard calcium to allow the vessel to relax and improve blood flow. So the need is real, and these opportunities or these technologies just allow more people to be treated who might otherwise have a difficult time being treated.
Now, as a startup, you completed a clinical trial last fall. You announced a new round of funding earlier this year. What's the next milestone that your team's looking to pass?
Yes, so we're excited about the next phase of our journey. So the next period of time is really focused on building out the full data package that will be required to file an IDE with the US FDA, in essence, to start a larger clinical study in the peripheral space that will be required for regulatory approval. That is a precursor to regulatory approval. And also in parallel with that, we're developing a coronary platform.
It's my understanding that you're leader of an R&D team. As the leader of this team, do you have any example of some strategies that you have taken to make sure that your team's achieving the best results possible?
Yes. I guess one thing that always comes to mind is focus. One advantage you have in a small company, a startup like ours versus a larger company, is that everybody's focused on the same objective and pushing in the same direction. So that's a huge starting point. But I guess more broadly, how I see things is our role is to encourage and support the team to constantly think beyond just the design itself and does it work. Obviously, patient outcomes are number one, and that should be on everybody's mind. But really immersing yourself in every part of the process and procedure to think about all the other things that make for a good experience from a patient, from a healthcare perspective. How easy is it to use? How easy is it to train? Can we make the procedure as short as possible? How easy is it to build so we don't have any risk of mistakes? And it's really putting in the time and the team feeling that they've got management support to put in the time and do it right up front.
Are there any other projects that are down the line that you can talk about? And then give us a website where our listeners can learn more.
Yes. As we're thinking about this technology platform, our first goal is to bring a product to market in the peripheral space and leverage some of those technologies from the peripheral space to be able to develop a coronary platform. We obviously don't want to have to redo everything twice. But we see opportunities in this technology over time to be able to potentially make the device more intelligent in terms of the feedback it might be able to give to the physician. So we're looking at other opportunities, not just to bring a product to market, but how do we evolve a portfolio of opportunities from these platforms going forward. The website, the company name is AVS Pulse. So if people want to go online, you'll find some information and references to the company there, www.avspulse.com.
Well, Sean, I appreciate your time this evening and the information. Thank you so much for joining us here on Health Professional Radio. Hopefully we'll speak again.
Yeah, thank you.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Sean Gilligan. Audio copies of this program are available at healthprofessionalradio.com.au, also at Anchor, Spotify, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com, Health Professional Radio.